Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I've got a great assortment of Dogman and Sasquatch encounters to share with you. Before we get into these encounters, a couple links I'd like to share. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merchandise to help this channel to continue to grow and go. All of those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fanfiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that really don't fit on this channel. Now, if that's anything that you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. You may just like what you hear. I also started a GoFundMe page to help raise some money for decompression surgery I'll be having on December 3rd. I have severe neuropathy because I have a terminal illness, and I am taking a lot of medication due to the neuropathy, which is having a negative effect on my kidneys and liver. The course of action is to get the surgery so I can have somewhat of a normal life, walking and doing things with the time that I have left before the illness takes me out. If that's anything that you're willing to help with, that link is in the description below. I want to thank everybody who has generously donated. I truly appreciate it. I've also made a list, and when I am in recovery, I'm not going to be having much time to do anything else except sit around, so I'm going to be piecing together a book, and I have a publisher that I talked to who's going to help me get everything figured out, and I'd like to send everybody who has donated an autographed copy of the book when it's finished. So with that, I want to thank everybody else who has sent prayers and well wishes. It's truly appreciated as well. You guys truly make me feel like I am cared for and cared about. Even the knuckleheads that send the nasty messages. I had one guy say last night, "You're not dead yet, quit whining." Thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate that one. That was classy. Anyway, now I've taken enough of your time. Let's get on with these encounters, shall we? Today's first encounter. A man in Ohio shot warning shots to scare off a Bigfoot that was trying to break in his home. A man in Bainbridge Township, Ohio, reported firing 2 warning shots to frighten off a Bigfoot he thought was attempting to break into his home early morning hours of October 22nd, according to the Cleveland Police Blotter. After hearing gunshots at 4:26 October 22nd, a resident called the police. Officers arrived and questioned a man who attempted to fire warning shots at a 7-foot-tall Bigfoot creature, who, he said, had tried to open his front door and get his dogs. He said the creature visits his home every night around 8 o'clock. The subject was not intoxicated. The man was advised to call the police if it returns and advised firing shots in the air is against the law. Police officers responded to the 60-year-old man's residence on Lorraine Street, where he admitted to firing warning shots in his backyard to scare away the animal, reported 19 News. When asked by the officer if the animal might have been a bear, the man responded, "It ain't no friggin' bear, because it was jingling my doorknob." The man also told officers that the creature repeatedly returns to his home because his neighbor feeds it bananas. This story is out of Ohio, is reminiscent of 2 relatively recent incidents involving Bigfoot and firearms. One in which a man out target shooting on public land near Helena, Washington, was shot by another who mistook him for Bigfoot on December 17, 2018. and another on July 28, 2019, in which a couple visiting Kentucky's Mammoth Cave National Park called emergency services after a man and his son opened fire in the woods, following a cryptid warning about being in Bigfoot country. In addition, a New Hampshire man wrote to the Conway Daily Sun in a letter published on August 19, 2019, to post it that a recent string of break-ins being blamed on bears in the region is actually a work of Sasquatch. Today's second encounter is a Dogman encounter. I lived in Akartara Hills, New Zealand for a time. One night I was outside with my then partner in the yard, which backed up onto some hills. I was using a flashlight to point out star constellations in the sky when I heard a rustling noise. When I turned around, I shone the flashlight where I had heard the noise coming from, and, to our amazement, we saw a figure about 7 to 8 feet tall with light, creamy gray, shaggy fur. It was upright on 2 legs, and had its front paws, arms, held upright, a bit like a kangaroo would. It had a face just like a wolf, but I thought its snout was a bit longer. Its ears were like a wolf's as well, and it had a longish tail, which was also covered in shaggy fur that curved up. The creature was side on to us, so we couldn't see its eyes, teeth, or even see if the creature had seen us. It was walking quite slowly and disappeared into some trees. At that point, my partner went after it. He never found it, though. The sighting was approximately 30 feet away from me. I never saw it again, but to be honest, I didn't look too hard either, as I was a bit freaked out. Today's third encounter is a Sasquatch encounter. A couple of friends who were hiking near Mills River in Henderson County, North Carolina. This occurred October 2017 on a game trail along the ridge of Mills Knob. The friends had walked for almost 20 minutes or so when they came to an open cut in the woods. They began to hear a loud cracking sound, which they thought was a small herd of deer moving down the ridge and breaking tree limbs. They took position above the trail and were well hidden. They wanted to see the apparent deer as they moved down the trail and near them. The friends were on a rock outcrop about 10 feet above the trail. As they waited, they began to hear heavy footfalls, as if a large biped was swiftly walking towards them. To their shock, an 8 feet tall Bigfoot walked directly below and past them. The creature had 5 to 6 inch copper-colored shaggy hair covering its entire body. The face was very ape-like in appearance. It was making heavy grunting sounds and seemed to be in pursuit of something. It then moved off the trail and went down a steep ridge. As they watched the creature, it suddenly stopped, turned, and looked in their direction. The friends were terrified and ducked close to the rocks. They assumed that it had recognized their presence. After about 30 seconds, it continued its way down the ridge. The friends stayed motionless for several minutes, hoping the Sasquatch would just move away from their location. There you guys go. I'm going to first apologize for the shortness of the video. I've not felt good since yesterday. My eyes feel like they're on fire. Just really tired. So I'm not going to get in too depth of talking at the end of this video either. The last encounter was only 150 miles to 160 miles from New River, Virginia, where our friend Bo had some interesting encounters with Dogman and Sasquatch. And for some reason, the color of this Sasquatch kind of reminded me of the Sasquatches around his area. So I quick did a scan, and actually this, I mean, if it was moving, you know, it could go right through, straight on through. There's a river wash that goes through with woods almost to the entire way. I don't know, it's just the color made me think of last night's encounter with the golden colored Sasquatches there. I don't know, I'm not really sure. So I hope I'm going to feel better tomorrow and get a longer upload out for you guys. I don't not like putting an upload out. I feel like I'm not doing anything if I don't sit in my little studio room for a little bit and record. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed these encounters as much as I enjoyed sharing them with you. I want to thank everybody for your support. I want to thank everybody who has recently subscribed to the channel. Welcome, everybody. There's been a lot of you guys. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but just in the last 28 days, my subscriber rate is up about 238 subscribers, which is, wow, pretty amazing. So thanks, guys, and welcome. And thank you for everybody for all of the support, guys. Truly appreciate it. Have a good night.